Hey friends, Matt Holtzman here for the exercise for this week. As far as making the narrative of Jesus' birth story fresh this week, I chose to zero in on Matthew 1:21. She will give birth to a son, and you are to give him the name Jesus, because he will save his people from their sins. I was really just intrigued as I was looking back through that passage about the naming of Jesus, and the power of, I guess, to kind of blanket it would be talking about the power of a name. In thinking about Advent, I started thinking a little bit too about some of the young families in our church congregation that have just recently had babies. It seems like over the last few months we've had like this huge influx of babies come into our into our congregation. We've had more baptisms and things that have occurred than the 7 years that I've been there, which has been really exciting. But I started thinking about, if I was planning ahead for this coming Advent, of what it would be like to use testimony from the parents as far as how they came up with their child's name. Some of these are very, they're not really thinking too much about their name, but many of the people that I've talked with, they actually have these experiences along with either the pregnancy or their experiences along with the birth itself that really help to inform the naming of their child. Some of the names that they've given for their child, even they feel like that God really planted it in them as parents to be able to name their child for certain reasons. And so Mary, of course, being visited by this angel, is given the name that is going to be for this baby. So anyway, I just thought, wouldn't it be great if over the 4 weeks of Advent we had either a video testimony or even a personal testimony in front of the entire congregation of being able to do have these parents come up front. They would have a prepared testimony that they would either read. I was thinking they could probably just read, that they would prepare in advance to be able to bring forward the power of what it was for them to name their child. What I think that would open up is for us to be able to kind of get more into the story of Jesus and what his name actually is when we say it, when we pray it, when we sing it. And I think it would just expand our understanding of what was going on. I think as far as closing down too, though, I can only imagine if the entire Advent series was about babies and naming, what that would do to parents that either lost children, parents that are dealing with issues of infertility, or that had miscarriages, that kind of thing. So that would take some real tenderness to be able to understand how we would enter into it. But nonetheless, I think the naming of Jesus has more significance there, and testimony would be able to help point us in the right direction.